This is the one thing the left knows. This woman who was killed, Renee Good, has a 6-year-old child. She has 3 children. She has one of the youngest of whom is 6. And she left him that day to go do this. And the left would like you to believe this is just sweet mama who left her boy at the daycare to just go about her business, omitting the agitation entirely. And but at least the left does know that this woman had a 6-year-old child. Yeah. And that child's been left an orphan because the father is no longer in the picture. I think the father died a couple years ago. What does this woman do? I think this is Minneapolis, but I'm not sure. We haven't been able to totally confirm that. This woman decides to tell this lady to hold her beer and brings her 6-year-old to an ICE arrest and leaves him in a car, which we know is dangerous, based on what we saw just this week. Never mind the 100 rammings we've seen, usually illegals who are getting arrested by ICE try to unleash on them. In this case, it was a Karen. But look at this, SOT 11B.
Hey, back up.
I'm far enough away. I'm not influencing anything.
Do you live on this street?
I don't. No.
Okay, I need you to get in your.
No, I won't.
Ma'am, I need you to leave.
It's my right to be here.
You need to back up out of the
I
way.
will not.
This is one of our cars as well. You were too close right now. You were
it's okay.
interfering.
I'm right here.
Federal
You're
investigation.
going to get out of my face.
You need
I'm
to
a
back
public
up over
citizen.
here.
No, I won't. Tell me
You
why
need to
I'm
back up
far
this
enough
way.
away from your
You need to
investigation.
back up this way.
Step beyond our cars.
Ma'am,
Don't touch me, please.
We have somebody
Beyond our
Don't.
cars.
Where's your cars?
right here.
Where's
You
your
need to go
cars?
all the way
Oh,
this
that's
way.
great.
Keep going. Go all the
That's
way
great.
this way.
Sure. Beyond your cars, 20 feet, right?
See that white car?
I have a 6-year-old right here. I have a 6-year-old right here in my car.
Child in the car?
Oh,
You're
child
Sure
endangerment.
did. Yes,
Yeah.
child endangerment.
Get your child off of the scene. This is an active police scene.
It's an
This is all on camera right now, too. Right here.
Yes, I'm wonderful. I'm very glad
Get
for
your
it.
child out of here. You
I
are
can
an
be right
active
here.
police scene.
I'm happy right here.
Ma'am, listen to me. You have the right to videotape, okay?
I do. Thank you,
Hang on,
sir.
listen to me right now.
I'm going to listen.
But we have someone that's being detained right here, okay? Mm-hmm. You have a child
Tell me
in the
where
front
you need
seat.
me to go
Hang on,
exactly.
I need you to stay. Do me a favor.
Yeah,
In the front
I will.
seat with no car seat, okay? Do me a favor. You can videotape all you like, but
Sure.
you have to stay. You cannot come past that driveway,
Perfect.
okay?
I'll be right back. Thank
Okay?
you.
Thank you. Stay at your car, though, okay?
Thank
You're
you.
more than welcome to videotape.
Thank you, sir.
But do me a favor. By state law, we're policemen, too. That child is supposed to be in a booster seat. He's not of age.
Oh.
So make sure you put him in a booster
Great.
seat, because I'd hate to give you a ticket.
You can give me a ticket. I'd love it.
How do you help that person?
Megyn, I was reading a book some years ago about East Germany, when East Germany, obviously communist East Germany. And I knew a bit about it before I started reading the book, but just kind of like highlights. One of the things that blew me away about East Germany, and it turns out this same thing took place in the Soviet Union and China and everywhere else, was that husbands would turn in their wives routinely. Wives would turn in their husbands. Children would turn in their parents. Parents would turn in their children. Moms would walk into the Stasi. Hey, I heard my daughter, she's criticizing the government. It's just I thought you guys should know about it. Stasi shows up, takes the daughter away in the middle of the night. And I remember thinking, because, I mean, my boys, I have 2 sons. I would die for them 1,000 times over. I'd kill for them 1,000,000 times over. I would. I'd do anything for my boys. I couldn't relate. I still can't understand it. But the truth is, there is something about that sick demonic religion of communism that it supersedes family immediately for these people. It's not just that that woman would bring her 6-year-old to a potential violent encounter. She doesn't even know who they're arresting. It could be a serial killer, a rapist, somebody who could come screaming out of that house and hop in her car and take her car away. But none of that would even occur to her. And you know what's weird? None of that would even bother her, because she's there. She's now the true mother of the revolution. The child just needs to be a tool of the revolution. That's probably why she brought him along. He's a nice shield. He'll help the revolution. And I can't understand that way of thinking, Megyn. I know how much you love your kid. I know you probably can't understand that. I don't want to understand it, but I know that's how it is. For these people, the revolution is their everything, and everything else, including their children, is secondary, just a tool for the revolution.
This is such a good point. You really brought that home. You're right. Like, who that's got a 6-year-old, not in his proper car seat, by the way, that sees law enforcement arresting someone who obviously is potentially a bad guy. You don't know what this is. You don't know why ICE is there. What did he do? Does he have a machine gun? Is he going to open fire? You have no idea. Is he going to ram somebody? Maybe your vehicle too. It pulls over to the scene with their child in the car. I'll tell you, one time in the past 2 years, we were walking in the Miami airport, my family, on the way home from someplace, and an arrest went down. They were arresting somebody outside of like the bathroom facility and, just in the airport as you walk like to your gate. And it was a big to-do. And of course, everybody, including my kids, was like, whoa, what's happening there? What's happening? And immediately I was like, let's go, move, let's get out of here. Any sane parent recognizes when you've got a criminal and the police, you have a dangerous situation, and at a minimum, get your kids the hell away from it. This woman sought it out, then left her child alone in the car and was gleeful about it, gleeful. But this same cabal will tell you they're the ones who care about humanity, children, the innocents. And I'm sorry to bring this to you because every day here on the Megyn Kelly Show, we have yet another leftist crying. All right, we've shown the new CBS News anchor, Tony Dokable, bawling about the fact he didn't get to grow up in Miami where he wanted to because his family moved away. Then we had Sia, what's her name, the new tenant czar for Mayor Zora Mamdani, crying because the Daily Mail decided to ask her questions, Sia Weaver. And now we have Philip Bump, who is a Washington Post columnist who was on the air on MS Now yesterday. I'm just going to play the clip for you. It's at 6.
I mean, I think all this can be very personal.
Oh, God.
Look what you did to me, Chris. I have a 6-year-old. And live TV is great. Really emotional for me. And, I take away from
oh, Lord.
This is great. What I take away from this is, for me, that's the thing that stands out, that this was a family that could have been like mine. And there are a lot of situations, a lot of incidents that have involved ICE, have involved the government over the course of the past 13 months, in which there is resonance for other families in similar ways. And for me, it's hard to think about that family being affected in this way.
Okay, I have a serious question for you. This sounds flippant, but it's not. Is it the plastics that we're all taking in? Is it like too much sunscreen? Why are all the men becoming effeminate and more female-like in their emotions? I see a man crying on TV, unless like their immediate family member has just passed, or a dear, dear friend of theirs, or it's a situation like we had, God rest him, with Charlie, where you're watching something horrific. That I excuse. But I'm sorry, Jesse, all this, he doesn't know her. He knows that she was an agitator, and he literally can't control his emotions. Is it an environmental thing, like with the frogs, that's making these guys more female?
I know that we've lost 50% of our testosterone in 50 years, and that they say, according to studies, that we're losing 1% a year. From what I understand, and there's a million different things on this, the main culprit, believe it or not, is the estrogen, the elevated amounts of estrogen that's in women's birth control that is somehow making its way into the water. Somehow they're not treating it out of the water supply.
What, you don't have it?
No,
My husband Doug doesn't have it. Why are you guys still men?
That's because I don't drink water, Megan. I stick with whiskey, and so I'm going to be just fine in the end. But no, look, I don't know whether it's the water supply. I don't know exactly what. Maybe Philip is actually on birth control, given how the left thinks about things these days. He could be worried about getting pregnant. This is how these people think. I have no earthly idea. What I do know is that as a man, to work up some crocodile tears on television, even if it's fake, and it probably was fake, even if it's fake, is so inherently embarrassing that there's no cause that I would do that for in the world. And if I was asked to, if my boss has told me in no uncertain terms to, I would quit on that day, because there's just no way you're going to get me to work that up on camera. And that the lack of shame, sometimes, I know this probably sounds weird, Megan, you can yell at me if you want. Sometimes I admire it, that when you look at the ridiculous things these people do without an ounce of shame whatsoever, they just tell a blatant lie right to your face. They'll cry on camera. No shame. They'll do these stupid dances, all the dumb dances and the chants in the streets. Every time I look, I always picture my dad and what my dad would say to me, God rest his soul, if he ever caught me doing something like that. And he would just slaughter me.
Yes.
He would slaughter me. And I don't know what it is, Megan, but I don't have it.
I'm sorry. Like, this is the kind of man who would cry during sex. Like, instant ruination. Like, this is ridiculous. He doesn't know this person. He knows that she went out there and asked for a confrontation, and still he's like, he's leaning into it the same way that Tony Dokapol was enjoying the fact that he worked up tears over his lost childhood in Miami, because they think this is like how to connect with, today's young women. You're not even discussing something particularly by the way, you're in news. Philip Bump used to write for the Washington Post. Now he's an MSNOW contributor. You're in news. You're supposed to develop a little bit of a thick skin, especially as a man. But no matter male or female, this is crazy town what they're doing. A new year means new financial goals, like making sure your savings are secure and diversified. Will this be the year you decide to talk to someone from Birch Gold Group? They use an educational approach with a deep understanding of macroeconomics. There are forces pushing the dollar lower and gold higher, which is why they believe every American should own physical gold. So until January 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, you just text MK to the number 989898. Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you are still eligible for a rebate of up to $10,000. Consider making right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy before January 30th. Text MK to the number 989898. Claim your eligibility today. Again, text MK to 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.